Hi there, Melissa, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am sharing the process video for my second project for my guest design spot with Clique Kits, and I'm using the Just a Little Lovely kit. So with this one I really wanted to focus on the different types of florals in the kit, and I had a vision in my head of maybe a wall with flowers growing down it and with leaves, etc. So I knew that Virginia Walker at Confessions of a Paper Addict had the perfect cut file. It's this brick wall and it looks like a hot mess at the moment, but I've cut it on my silhouette and I'm just going through because I decided not to use white cardstock for my background. I wanted to use pattern paper again. So I needed to colour the brick wall a colour that wasn't white, and so I decided to go with grey, and I've used a couple of shades of grey. It's not perfect, which would give the look of I guess a weathered older wall, and then I'm just going over the top with some colour shine. I think I've got black and the grey, what's it called, pewter, I can't remember what it's called, the lighter grey one anyway. And so I love the way this turns out. Like I say, it's not looking that great at the moment, but once it's on the pattern paper, you'll see what my intention is. So I left that to dry and then came back to it. I'm using washi tape because my mat has lost all its stick, so that's a hint if you want to get more out of your mat, because I do find that they lose their stickiness quite quickly if you use it a lot like me. So once it's dried, you want to leave it completely so it doesn't rip, and then I'm just lifting up the cut file and you can see the bricks left behind. So like I say, loving how that's looking, loving that it's got different tones in it, and here I'm just going through the papers I've got left to try and work out which one I want to use for my background. This is actually the one I end up choosing, but I just wanted to make sure. I've used that paper for another layout. Not for this, obviously not for this guest design spot because the paper wouldn't be there, but I have used it before, so I wanted to push myself to use something else. I did consider that one, and but no, I came back to this one. So this one's really soft and pretty, kind of pastel-y colours, and I think it's going to work really well with my photo and with the florals. So there are a lot of florals that are already pre-made in the kit, that they either come as part of the collection, or there are some fabric and ribbon kind of flowers that are exclusive to the kit. But I also wanted to do some fussy cutting, and I just love the two little flowers that are in this paper. Some of them have leaves attached, some don't, and I also cut out several of the leaves, and I'm not going to make you watch the entire process because it would be pretty boring. But just showing you how I do it. I move the paper, and I'm using these little scissors that are from close to my heart, and they are perfect for fussy cutting. So also cutting these bigger purple flowers, and I think a paper like this, we must all agree, it just begs to be fussy cut or used in blocks where you can see a lot of the florals. So speed it up so I can do it quickly. If only I could cut that quickly in real life. I cut a lot more than that too. I've just, on that little doily, you can see the ones that I've cut. And then I'm going through this ephemera pack to find not only flowers but anything that I think I might want to use on the layout. So pulling apart the florals, and yeah, you can have a good look at what's in here. Anything I thought like that, the Beauty of You little banner, I thought that was perfect too. Same with the words on that, or both of those pieces actually. And then going through the acetate pieces, you do want to make sure you've got them around the right way, the ones that aren't coloured. They look silver, but you've got to turn them over so they're gold. And just trying to pull out the smaller ones really, because I don't want to dominate the wall by massive pieces. So I've pulled those ones. Some of them are coloured, some of them are not. And here's my photo of Brielle. It was taken on the 100th day of school for 2019. So here in New Zealand, school starts normally the end of January, beginning of February. That's our start of the school year. And I know in the States you've just started now. And anyway, she came home and said 100 days of school. And we're thinking, but you haven't been at school for 100 days. You've only turned 5 in April and started school in the 3rd term or 2nd term. So anyway, what it was celebrating the 100th day of school for the year, and they had to make or dress up for the day, and she made a t-shirt, or she had a t-shirt, an old one, and we stuck some old scrapbook embellishments on them and I sewed them on. That'll be another layout. And they made that crown at school, and when she got home from school she put the crown on and her princess dress on, and the colours just go perfectly with this collection. So in order to glue this down and not have a big tantrum over it, because I do struggle with gluing finer cut files, I glued half of it, and because I find that this liquid glass dries really quickly. Sorry, that was Sam not realising I was doing this voiceover. It dries really quickly, and if you don't get things down on the page quickly, it dries and you have to go back and re-glue it. Sorry about the banging. You know what it's like around here. 4 kids and yeah, trying to do a voiceover probably at not a good time. So I've glued half of it down and yeah, did it in pieces. Actually did it in 3 lots, as you can see. So I've kept this in because I know people like to see the full process of how things are done. And yeah, some of the areas needed a little bit more glue, but otherwise pretty happy. I did think about putting it up on dimensional foam, but honestly I started doing it and I had to cut it so thin and then it wouldn't work. I just decided it was too hard basket. So anyway, maybe someone will make a really thin tape, foam adhesive tape, and I could just stick it directly to it without cutting it. So we've got the same dilemma here as last project. I love the cutter parts, but I also love the paper on the back. So once again I was trying to find an area on that paper where I wasn't going to use the cutter part. And the B side is just this beautiful pink ombre. So speeding up now, just using double-sided tape to stick it down and then trimming it out. And this photo I think I just took on my iPhone, but I just love the quality of photos you can get on your iPhone now. I still do use my big camera, but the iPhone is it's always with me. And I think I read something where someone said that the best camera you have is the one that you always have on you. So I guess for most of us that'll be our iPhones or our phones. So this little doily isn't from the kit. It was just on my desk, and I keep a little container of things I need to use up. And so I was going to put it behind my photo, but it was too small. And then I thought it looked really sweet behind that. I think it says Everyday Happiness. So I've got 2 kind of sentiment embellishments, and then just working out where I'm going to put them, and that to me seems the logical position for both of them. And just using some more double-sided tape. I think in all the adhesives that I've tried, double-sided tape is my favourite. I haven't tried the big tape gun. I can't remember what it's called, the big pink one. I haven't tried that yet, but I am considering next time I purchase something, I will get one. Yeah, so at this point I haven't thought too hard about where I'm going to put the flowers, but the intention is I don't want to cover up too much of the brick. I want it to be seen. I did look on Pinterest for some inspiration in terms of actual walls with flowers growing down, and I found one that had all the flowers at the top. But I think because this is a partial wall cut file, as in it's not like one full background of bricks, I decided just to have them up and down the wall, which you'll see soon. So I'm just wanting to commit to placing these 2 elements down because I don't want to put flowers behind them, and I don't want to waste flowers if they're going to be covered. So I've popped the Beauty of You up on some foam. And sorry about that, I was just interrupted by my daughter who came to tell me that something was burning in the kitchen. So went to check it out. There was nothing burning, just the oven was on. And now for the fun part, which is always embellishing for me. So what I'm doing is starting with the bigger floral pieces, and in this instance it's the acetate pieces, and just deciding where to place them. So the reason I've started with the bigger ones is because at the moment the entire brick wall, aside from where my photo and embellishment is is open for embellishment, and so if I put little ones down first, then I'm going to struggle to put the bigger pieces in. So what I'm wanting to do is essentially create lots of clusters, and I also want to have some embellishment above and below my photo. So I don't want to go too full on with the embellishment above and below my photo, because I have definitely got that horizontal line with the photo and the embellishment on either side, as you can see there. So I wouldn't want to dominate above and below the photo for that reason. I'm finding it hard to explain to you why, but I don't know. I think when I'm creating and I'm in the flow, it's quite an organic process, and I don't think too hard about why I'm doing stuff. And I like to think, because some of that becomes naturally, and some of it comes from, I think I worked it out today, and I've been scrapbooking for well over 9 years. So, yeah, and it's interesting too, because your style gets influenced by what you see. So in terms of, like, for me, it's Instagram and YouTube are definitely my, I guess Facebook and groups are definitely my go-tos for being inspired, and I love looking at other people's work as well, and I love looking at different styles, and so it definitely influences your style as well. So here I wanted to add in some of the puffy stickers as well, and I wanted to make this layout, I was going to say tactile, but I don't want people touching it. But I wanted to make it a mix of different types of florals, and I think I said that at the beginning. So I find that the puffy stickers are a great base, and I think I'm adding a bit of glue to them because they need a bit more, I guess, a bit more adhesive. And then I'm adding in the little ones that I fussy cut, the little pink ones, and also some of the little bit bigger purple ones that I fussy cut. And so the way that I do this is I just play around really and jump around to different areas on the layout. I've sped it up because I wanted to keep all of this in so that you could see it. So yeah, just adding in the flowers, adding in leaves. There are puffy leaves, acetate leaves, fussy cut leaves, and yeah, I think that's all there is. I love the puffy leaves, and I wish that the collection had some more in there, but that's okay. You can always fussy cut out the ones to add to it anyway, so I just love the texture of the puffy ones. So yeah, just building it, loving how it's looking. And I must say that all the time about my layouts, but I'll be honest, I don't love every layout that I make. I have one coming, I'm not sure when this will go live, but I have another one coming, it's this week, that I like it. I don't love it, but I like it because it gets the story told. Whereas this layout, I think I've already said that I'm planning to do probably a pocket page with the other photos that I took. I took a photo of her in the actual shirt that we made together. And so I think the greatest story aside from this photo, the greatest story is actually designing and wearing the t-shirt to school, and so that will have more journaling than this one. So this one is probably more of a product focused page, which I love doing when I have a beautiful photo with not much story. So anyway, yeah, just continuing to build. And how do I know when it's done? I don't actually know. I just think I keep going until I think it looks right. Sometimes you'll know it's done because you run out of product. Other times, like if you're me, you do not want to take away from the photo. So the photo is always the most important thing on the page. The journaling is important too, but I think the eye will naturally go to the journaling if it's looking for the story. So coming to the end of the embellishing the wall, and I'm just wanting to make sure there's enough leaves on the flowers, and that each little cluster has enough, I don't know, floral in it as well. Yeah, so these are the puffy stickers, and what am I doing? Oh yeah, I pulled out the word happy because that's the word that we get used to describe Brielle. She's very happy, except when she's unhappy, but she's a naturally smiley, happy child. She's got a really happy disposition. She's quite eager to please, so she still stomps her feet and has the odd tantrum, don't get me wrong, but In all her school reports and even at preschool, it would say that she's happy and smiley. So I don't think I keep that there, but it's looking good at the moment. Part of me wishes that I had, but that's okay. And the same with these puffy stickers, you'll want to add extra adhesive as well. And probably because I am gluing them on, I guess the wall cut file it's got 2 mediums of mixed media on it, so that's why. Found another puffy leaf and so determined to get that one on the page. It's alright, just having my sip of coffee. This is a really long video for me. I don't think I've made a video that has been over 19 minutes for ages. But the reason it's so long is because I wanted you to see my entire process when it came to embellishment. So I love these beautiful words. I was trying to find a title that would work, and what I was struggling with was the fact that there wasn't much real estate to put a title. Now, even if I'd put it above the doily, I think it would have looked out of place, so I wanted to keep it near the wall. And I removed the word happy and just decided to go with beautiful you, because it is such a beautiful photo. Here I'm trimming the little, I don't know what you call them, it's where it gets punched out in the manufacturing process, little tag bits or little overhang bits. I trim them off. Sometimes I leave them, but if they bother me I trim them off, and in this instance I have trimmed them off. And so that's my title, Beautiful You. And then I remembered that I must get some of these exclusive flowers to the kit down. So as well as these ones, these are made of ribbon and they're on a wire. Before I describe the other ones, I've just trimmed the wire, and you got to be careful though, because you don't want the ribbon to unwind because that'll ruin the flower. And then I'm just using a little glue dot to stick them down, and I think once they're in the page protector they'll be fine and they'll be stuck for good. So there were some bigger paper flowers as well, and they were too big. I think they would have overpowered the other florals and looked out of place or out of scale. So I'm just going for a few of these ones. And they just cut really easily just with your bigger scissors. So yeah, just placing them. And they're really sweet, and like I said before about being tactile, they add a different texture and a little bit of dimension as well. So I didn't go overboard, I just did a few of them, I didn't use all of them, and I'm glad that I've got some more for another project. And I purposefully, I think, selected the smaller ones. They are slightly different in size, and tried to mix up the colours as well. So I probably could have sped this bit up, but anyway, you can see what I'm doing. So at this point, I need to put my journaling in. I did think about maybe journaling on one of the bricks, but because there's that gap between the photo and the title, it naturally just wanted to go here. So I think I'm talking about the 100 days of school, that it's not her 100th day, but it still is for the school. She was so excited about it. There was no point trying to explain to her that she hadn't had 100 days at school, but you get what I mean. And I think I also put that she made that crown and then came home and put the dress on. And now is where I go sequin crazy. I thought I was done, but then I decided that it needed something else, and so just using that liquid glass, it's like glossy accents, to get these down. It dries clear. It dries, it's glossy, like glossy accents is. And so you can also use it to add a sheen over the top of an embellishment. So I'm just using my little tweezers, and if anyone wonders what this is, it's a little dish, and it's from close to my heart. I got it at a crop, and it's made so that you can easily put embellishments back in the pack. So perfect for sequins. You just tip the corner of the little container into the bag. So I probably went way overboard with sequins, but hey, can you ever have too much sparkle in a layout? I don't think so. So I actually think this is my final touch. I don't think it's, sorry, I have been on a video making marathon at the moment for a whole lot of commitments I have for September, and so I can't remember if I added splatters. I don't think I did. But yeah, just adding those final sequins, and that will be my layout. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've loved being the guest designer for August over at Clique Kits. Thank you so much for having me, and you guys will see me again soon. Here are some close-ups.